Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. It's our Wednesday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. I want to give a shout out real quick to all our sponsors, Lindsay and Associates, Locomotion, Corey Beck's Custom Painting, and lastly, KDK's Chicken. Go down and see Keith and Kathy, get some love, and like I said, it's not your mama's. You can catch them at 989 South Razorback Road. But real quick, want to go over to my producer, co-host. What's up, D? NCAA comes out with some really important news as they've kind of started to really buy into the fact that these kids need to get paid for their likeness and things of that nature. And I think sometimes when you get leagues that come in and try to, cherry pick some of your top athletes, that being said, the G League, it's kind of sped the process up. I think it was something Demetrius that the NCAA was eventually going to do, but expeditiously had to move it up.
Had to, I think it was vital that the NCAA did decide to give these kids their likeness. I think when you look at what the G League decided to do, I think the G League kind of put their foot on the NCAA's neck to really make something happen and give these kids another advantage or reason to go to college. Because right now, if I'm a young student athlete, I'm looking at the G League like, okay, they're gonna offer me up to $500,000. They're going to pay for my school. Even if I don't make it to the G League, they're still going to take responsibility for paying for me to go to school. So if I'm a young student, I'm looking at the game like, okay, would I rather go play basketball at the G League level and make some money and bank off of me playing 1 year and potentially taking that $500,000 and flipping it or investing it or taking some way to make that money, make me some more money. And I think when you look at today's age, kids are chasing the dollar. They don't care about the process of, 3 to 4 years. They're looking at, okay, how can I feed my family right now and how can I get paid for doing what I love to do?
And I think that there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's so many kids, and it goes back years ago with Chris Webber of the Fab Five there at Michigan. He said it best. I mean, walking around and you're a kid that doesn't come from a lot, and back home, living isn't good. Now you may eat steaks, and I mean your life, but when you think about being back home and then walk and see uniforms with your numbers on it that you're wearing, I mean, let's just be straight up. I mean, fans buy uniforms and jerseys or whatnot, memorabilia for the players that are in those jerseys. Nobody was buying 15 until Ryan Mallett. Nobody was buying 5 until Darren McFadden. Nobody bought number 34 in basketball until Corliss Williamson. Nobody bought number 10 or, Ronnie Brewer. I mean, these are uniforms and numbers that get purchased and made a lot of money from by the players that are wearing them. And I think, it's long overdue that these kids should have long ago been getting paid for their likeness.
Absolutely. I think it's a travesty that there's a lot of kids that got cheated out of that. Because when you look at guys like a Niall Davis or guys like Darren McFadden, guys like a Ryan Mallett that didn't have, let me say, I can't say not long careers because I feel like Darren McFadden had a decent career.
Right.
But just that's money that anybody would have liked to have in their pocket, regardless
Absolutely.
of their profession or regardless of their lifestyle. When you have ability to make money from your image and your likeness, I think you should be awarded it, especially in basketball and football.
Right.
When you look at how much money is really generated, and then you look at these coaches, man, these coaches' salaries and their ability to get that coaching salary and get their buyouts and get their all these clauses, and here you go. Here's a student sitting here with sometimes not even a degree, or sometimes a degree that they can't use. So I just think it's great that the NCAA, even though they were forced to do it, I think it wasn't something that they really intentionally wanted to do. But I think given the situation, to keep talent coming to the league, from going to the league, because I still think the college level is going to be watered down. These high profile athletes are going to go straight to the G League. I don't care if you're a competitor, you want to play against the best, and if you're young. And a lot of these kids are cocky, that's not a bad thing, but they look to play against the best. And I just see with so much that the G League offers, I think it's going to be, imperative that the NCAA finds other way to really compensate these kids.
I'm of the belief I think it's going to be 50-50. I think some kids are going to go G League because that's just face it. Some kids don't like school, and if I have talent and I don't like school and I can go make a little money, then that's the route I'm going to take. And then you're going to have some that have all of it: talent, they like school, and they have the opportunity to play at a high major program or in the G League, but they want that experience of playing in the NCAA tournament. I mean, everybody's different, but it will be the G League will make a high impact on how college basketball is viewed going forward. And going forward, we got some pretty special guests. We keep talking about this 2022 class, and I'm telling you, Coach Sam Pittman and his staff are really hitting the 2022 class really hard. So we thought we'd continue on with our Hog Guy segment because they don't stop watching. Our first stop today will be in Orlando, Florida at Olympia High School, where we're going to catch up with 2022 wide receiver prospect Victor Jones Jr. We'll talk to BJ and find out just where Arkansas sits. He's got a lot of options because the young man has a lot of talent. Then we're going to head all the way up to St. Louis, Missouri, where we're going to catch up with 2022 wide receiver prospect from Ritter High School, Luther Burton. Luther's considered the number one player in the entire Show Me State in that junior class. We'll find out where Arkansas, he has a past relationship with Coach Barry Odom. We'll ask Luther all of that. But before that, we're going to let you hear a little teleconference. Don't know which one, but we're going to let you hear what we heard, and then we'll be back with the Hog Guy segment. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Let's get it.
On the field is football wise, it's been going pretty fast, recruiting wise, and now we're starting to get into some ball and getting things started. But I'm excited. Off the field is great, man. Great community, great people. Everybody want to help you out. They can't help you lead you in the right, point you in the right direction. So I'm excited about what the future holds.
What went into you taking this job? I know you had a prior relationship with Coach Pittman, but how excited are you to be able to be the running back coach for such a highly respected coach as Sam Pittman is?
I'm super excited, man. When he called me about the opportunity, I was excited. We was getting ready for some things at Georgia State, and it was like a dream come true at the time. But now it's settled down, and now I got some things we got to do.
State of Georgia, you're highly respected in that state. Just 2 years ago, you were a high school football coach at probably the best program in that state. Talk about, how much of a whirlwind it's been that just 2 years ago you're a high school coach and now a running back coach in a Power 5 conference in what I consider the best SEC West.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, but it's been a good one. If it's, I think it's a good storm. It's been a good storm. The process has been, like I say, fast, but I'm enjoying it every moment of it, man. I'm one of those guys, like I said, I like the grind. Work never bothers me. I'm never satisfied with good. So I'm excited, man. I just love the whole thing, all of it, recruiting, coaching, all of it. I just love it.
You put a social media video out talking about if you're a baller, you're coming to get them. Explain that message that you wanted all prospective recruits, in particular the state of Georgia, to understand about where you were going to try to take Arkansas.
Yeah, I want kids to understand that I'm going to find you. Don't worry about it. Just do your job. Play football. Play for your team. You ain't got to put all that stuff out about I'm underrated and play ball. And if you can play ball, I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you. And I'm coming to get you.
How's your ties in Atlanta area? You know quite a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, being in administration. But talk about, I see you guys signed 4 kids out of the state of Georgia so far. Is that something that, you plan on going back each and every year? And if we can get 4, let's try to get 5. I mean, is Georgia going to be somewhere that you really try to make an impact in?
Yes, it is. I think the biggest thing is about need. A lot of good football players in Georgia. So all according to need and if they fit what we can do. But between 4 to 6 kids, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on need. But I'm definitely going to try to go in Georgia and get some kids out of there.
Talking about your room, Rakeem Boyd probably was the biggest.
Welcome back. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio here on KDSJ 479. It's our Wednesday edition of OTH, and we'd like to talk about the Hall guys with Sam Pittman and his staff because, we keep saying he made a statement that he felt like the 2022 class was lagging as far as the brand put out for the Arkansas Razorbacks. So he and his staff saddled it up, got going, got on the grind, and made their way to Orlando, Florida, where they're going to catch up and made an offer to the big-time 2022 prospect that we're about to introduce from Olympia High School, Victor Jones Jr. Victor, welcome to OTH, my man.
How you doing?
Doing very well.
Thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Let's talk about the recruiting process, Victor. Arkansas comes out just a little over 24 hours ago with the offer from Coach Justin Stepp. Talk about that, what it meant to have that offer, in particular the position coach, and then who are some of the other schools, Victor, heading into your junior year that are showing you what a lot of people say on social media, a lot of love?
Around my junior year, I got an offer from the University of Cincinnati. I got an offer from, Arkansas, and I got an offer from West Virginia today. And those are the schools that have showed me love recently. But the schools that have showed me love since I've been in high school, the most is probably UCF.
When you look at playing high school football down in the state of Florida, Victor, how do you think that prepares? Because, let's face it, you get a chance each and every week to play, multiple players each and every weekend that are going to be at the Power 5 level. How do you think that's going to prepare you for just 2 years from now, you'll be making that next step?
I think it's going to prepare me very well because I'm playing against a lot of good talent, especially as far as Division I high rated prospects, because there's a lot of people that come down here for recruiting and look at a lot of Florida kids. So
Right.
I make sure I play hard, and I make sure that I make it easy for me to get noticed out here, because if you do your thing in Florida, they're gonna notice you.
Right. Now, when you sat down, at the conclusion of this past season, your sophomore year, and you sat down with your offensive coaches and made a note, Victor, what were some of the things that you really felt good about? And then also, too, what were some of those things that you just had little notes and said, these are some of the things I got to work on in the off season so that I can have an even better junior season?
Well, one of the things I liked about my sophomore year is, I started, had a lot of playing time. I got the ball when I needed to get the ball. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate them for getting me the ball. My coach, Coach Gabriel, and my wide receiver coach, Coach Mathis. So yeah, I really appreciate them giving me the ball. I like the way I got the ball. They said they're gonna give it to me more next year, and I like the way I was able to catch the ball at 5 yards, take it 60. I like the way I was able to do that, but I want to improve on that next year even more. God blessed me with these gifts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to use it to the best of my ability. So yeah.
Victor, with the fact that you guys aren't able to go through spring football due to the COVID pandemic situation, kind of shutting athletics down, and then all to compound it, you're not able to go up to the gym and get in a normal weight session. How are your workouts going so that when we do get back to some normal life, you'll have some, you'll kind of be ready, not in 100% shape, but close to it.
Well, my mom and my dad, they work me out. My mom wakes me up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I go out running. I run about a mile every day. And later in the day, my dad will come home and he'll do some strength training with me. You know what I'm saying? They've been training me all my life. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate them because they played a huge part in me being in shape.
How big is that to have such a supportive mother and father? As you said, they've worked you out your entire life, just to be there every step of the way. It has to feel real special to have that type of connection, doesn't it?
It's really a big thing for me. I really appreciate them. They really do a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? My mom always knew I was gonna be like this though, so she really, cause she said she saw something when I was 3 months old that
moms
told
know
her.
best. Mothers
Yeah,
always know
she
best.
knew. She knew. She said God told her. She said God told her that I'm gonna be an athlete, and she knew.
Hey,
So
that's Coach Jones. That's what I'm gonna call her, Coach Jones. She
yes,
won't be
man.
Mama.
Yes,
She'll be
sir. Yes,
Coach
sir.
Jones. Victor, who are some NFL or NCAA wide receivers or athletes in general? Yeah, I can't. When I watch your film, I can't put you in a category because you do so much. But who are some of the
Yes, sir.
NFL and or collegiate athletes that you like to pay attention to?
I pay attention to a lot of them that do different things, like C.D. Lamb. Who else? Deshaun Jackson.
Right.
That's one of the main reasons why I wear number 10, because I love Deshaun Jackson. He's one of my favorite NFL receivers. I look at some T. Higgins, Justin Jefferson, big receivers, big names.
You're a big name as well. Now, when I come to the stadium on a Friday night down there in Orlando, Florida, and I got my popcorn, I'm going to get my Sprite 20 ounce, and I'm going to be at Olympia High School. I'm going to go to the highest seat in the stadium. When that ball is kicked off, Victor Jones Jr., what will I see for 4 quarters from number 10?
You'll see speed, athleticism, and you'll see a team player, because I don't like to lose. So,
I
and
like
good
that.
sportsmanship. So,
We're talking with Victor Jones Jr. of Orlando, Florida, Olympia High School. For those that have just tuned in to our broadcast, it's our Hall Guy segment. Victor's a top priority in the 2022 class for Coach Justin Stepp, Kendall Briles, and that entire Arkansas offensive staff. Now, let's have a little fun, my man. You and I riding around Orlando, Florida. I'm very old school, VJ, but I'm in the club with Victor in the vehicle. What's the first 5 songs on your playlist that I'm gonna get a chance to listen to?
let's see. We gotta put some Drake on.
I like
Oh,
that.
we gotta get some. We gotta get that Kiki Do Love Me. That's one of them.
Okay,
We gotta get Tootsie Slide.
I'm
You
with
know that one. Uh,
Hey, yo, Nash, you go
gotta get some gospel in there a little bit. I
you.
think we would.
Absolutely.
Some Dietrich Haddon, something like that.
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Let's see. Some Lil Wayne.
Dietrich Haddon. Now, it had to be Dietrich Haddon, Don't Leave Me. Now, that has to be the song, right? That has to be the
Yes,
cut.
sir.
Well, last question, Victor. And once again, my man, I want to thank you for taking time out here. But I'm gonna make a statement, and I want you to finish this statement for me. When football is done with, when it's all said and done, for Victor Jones Jr. of Orlando, Florida, Victor Jones Jr. will be doing what with his life after football?
Me, I want to go into sports analysis. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
ESPN. I want to talk about football because I love football a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I like
And
that.
I want that to be my life. And now I want to give back to my community. I want to start my own little foundation to help the community back in Orlando because I know we're struggling sometimes. So yeah.
Well, my man, if you can, with the path you're on and the support system you have, I mean, there is no way that you can't do anything that God has put forward to you. And my man, thanks for taking time and listen up. This can't be our last time that you grace our show. All right, our line is your line, and our show is your show. So anytime you want to chime in, you know the number, and just feel free.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for taking time out on the hill, my man.
No problem. No problem.
That was 2022 big-time wide receiver prospect out of Orlando, Florida, Olympia High School, Victor Jones Jr. Demetrius, I saw his tape last night. I'm telling you, game changer.
Definitely a big body, big frame, and I think he knows how to really use it.
Right.
And I think he had deceptive speed. A lot of taller, lankier guys you assume to be slow, but I think he definitely has a step over a lot of these DBs. But I think
he's going to be a high priority and a very great get for whomever this young man decides to play for. I mean, just whew. But it goes to show you what Coach Sam Pittman and that staff are doing. I mean, they're really getting that brand out. To be in the same conversation on players such as Alabama's, the Ohio States, Oklahoma's, those types of teams, having been in the situation program-wise from where Arkansas has been, speaks a lot on just the staff that Coach Pittman and Coach Pittman himself, just what they've been able to, put out there as far as a brand. But we're going to let you hear more, and then we're going to come back because we got to gas up, put new tires on, get a nice clean ride, and make it all the way to St. Louis, Missouri for our next guest, 2022 wide receiver, Luther Barton. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. Back in a moment.
Hey, yo, Nashy, you go crazy. Damn, miss. You got one.
Talk about guys like Jarquez and Buster. How excited, what's been the one message that you've tried to really build in your room before you guys get into spring ball and when things really pick up?
The one thing that I've told them, no excuses. I don't believe in excuses from class, on the field, off the field. All those things come into one thing. If you eliminate excuses, everything else will work out. Just those guys, Jaquez, Buster, Day, Bush, and all the guys in the room have everything I've asked them to do since I've been there done. Go to class, be on time. Coach asks you to do something, do it. Yes, ma'am, no, sir. And those things are going to help us on the field. But the room is amazing, man. I'm excited.
From being in the SEC, what have you noticed? I know you played Big 12, but if there's any differences that you can see, Coach, what would those be?
Up front, the D-line is unreal. Not saying the Big 12 don't have D linemen, but in the SEC, every week you're going to play against probably the first, second round draft pick every week. O-line is kind of a skill guys. I think it's equal. Big 12 have skill guys also, but the D-line is on a different level.
You guys got a few cornerbacks that you were able to build a relationship. Nick Turner comes to mind. I saw a social media picture with Nick on his official visit. Talk about your recruiting philosophy, because I see a lot of why not us. Talk about that.
Man, so with Nick, it's crazy. Coach Pittman already had sealed the deal. Coach Pittman, I think the second day on the job, the third day, he flew down to see Nick. So now I just had to come and don't mess it up. But Nick dad, I got in contact with his dad, talked to Nick. Nick is a hard worker. He's from New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans. So people I knew down there spoke very highly of Nick. So, okay, let me meet the kid and see how the kid is. And came up with FaceTime. And he was like, I want to be there. I was like, okay, if you want to be here, I want you here. So I'm all in, and we've been all in. And Nick, I'm excited to get him here on campus.
For people that are listening or watching our sit down, what are some of the criteria, Sam, that you look for when going out and recruiting defensive backs for the University of Arkansas?
First thing, you want to make sure you have size. I want everybody to say you want 6'1", 6'2". No, I just say you just want to be comfortable. What I mean by comfortable, when you're out there by yourself, can you hold your own? Most guys say I want 4'4", 4'3". I want football players. Do you love football? When I go to your schools, everybody say, hey, this guy loves football. And when I went to Nick's school, even Kyrie Johnson's school, the head coach spoke very highly of both of them. Everybody I spoke to, even when I went to Connecticut, I went to 2 or 3 high schools, and every coach said, hey, have you seen the kid Kyrie Johnson? And we're like, yo, that's why we're here. But you just want guys that love ball. When people speak about them, they love ball, they treat people right. And if you get those things, we can do the rest once you get here.
I appreciate your
Thank
time.
You, bro.
I look forward to covering you
Man,
quite a bit.
you my guy, man. You my guy.
Hey, no, we could get
Hey, you already know.
Welcome back. Unfortunately, we won't have Luther on today. I believe he's got some things that he has to take care of. So we'll try to reschedule for a later day, maybe tomorrow or early next week. As also too, want to make a note, we won't be on air Friday as we'll be out of the office for the day, but we will be back in our regular time slot on Monday. But just want to get that out there. Tomorrow will be our last show of the week. But unfortunately, we'll not be able to have Luther on 2022 4-star wide receiver. I think he should be a 5, but you know. That's another discussion. But we want to get back over, and for our listeners that want to chime in on the ruling of NCAA being able for the players to be able to make money off the likeness, I'm still in for it. I think I'm 50-50 on the G League. I think some will stay, some will go. But I think really where you'll see an impact is in the football side of things. I think there'll be less dealings with agents. Because you see more and more kids in football having to sit out, taking things from certain people. I mean, but that's a struggle when you're coming from a home and they don't have much. I mean, I understand. I get it. But I think this is going to alleviate a lot of problems that we've been having as far as programs following the rules.
Absolutely. And I think, although I this may kind of sound, what should I say, against the grain of what I just said, but there's also going to be a lot of kids that do decide to stay all 4 years now that they do have the opportunity to make money, because there are going to be guys, especially in football, that don't have the ability to go professional, and they're going to bank all their coins on what they can make out of their university setting. And I think what else is going to be huge is YouTube. I think when you look at a lot of these players having the ability to make revenue from their likeness, I think when you look at especially social media and guys having the ability to start clothing lines and create shoes and create brands, I think that's really what's going to take some of these guys over the top. But the scary thing about it is you're going to see more individuality to really come out, because I don't see how they're really going to balance this and figure out how they're going to pay accordingly. And I think they really don't have a structure fit, that they kind of just jumped in the game because they seen what the NBA did with the G League. So I'm really looking to see what the cons are going to be with guys having the ability to make money from their likeness. Because when you look at Title IX, is it Title IX for women? And Title IX.
If someone knows, please chime in and join the conversation. But I think that's what it is.
Well, you know what I'm trying to get to as far as whatever you offer the men's sports, you have to offer the women's.
Yes.
So I'm really eager to see like sports like softball, how they're going to be able to make money from their likeness. Baseball, guys that don't even have full scholarships, that only have partials. Those are the things I want to figure out how they're going to make this work, given the situation.
Because when you look at it, softball and baseball, that's a real tricky situation when, like you said, Demetrius, great point, the scholarship limit isn't as doesn't cover as much for softball or baseball as it would, and then I think you only get like 11, and there's 27 on the roster. So as Coach Dyfel and that staff, Coach Van Horn and his staff, they got to kind of mix and match, and I mean that's real difficult. So I agree with you. I mean, I'm curious to see how that's going to go with young males and females in those two sports being able to sell likeness. But another thing I think it's going to be real smart is kids put that .com
Absolutely.
on all their stuff. So if you're on social media and you put that .com right behind your name, I think that's going to be something that you'll be able to really look forward to as well. I mean, I really think this is going to be a good thing going forward. I think now that for the initial start of it, still going to be a lot of questions, going to be a lot of grumbling, because it's something, people don't do well with the change. But I think as we start to really embrace the decision that was made, I think we'll come to peace with it. And I think it'll be something that saves collegiate athletics, not hurts it, but I think it's going to save it, because more and more kids won't decide to go pro for the simple fact, hey, most male and females go because they need to help their families. And if you're getting 10% of a jersey coming in with over 80,000 people on a Saturday, you give me 10% of that, I'm gonna be all right. I can send to my family, and that's just. I really think this is gonna be a good thing, Demetrius.
Yeah, I hope it is a good thing. I don't know what it's going to going to do to the game, because again, it's difficult to control a locker room when you have guys over here making, X amount of money, and you have guys over here making an X amount of money, and then guys think they should be on the right side making this money, and there's guys on the right side that really should be making money on the left side. So then you got to look at rankings. Okay, are you going to give it to give kids stipends according to rankings? There's so many doors that I think they've opened that they didn't address, that I wish they would have addressed before the G League forced them to do these things,
That
because
showed up. A lot has changed, and they've done it a lot quickly. I mean, all these years, like you said, Demetrius, they're dragging.
absolutely.
Pops up. Now you see how things get sped up.
And then you look, they should have did this years ago. What was it, about 5 years ago, when the kid from Northwestern actually put where he sued the NCAA, because, or we can go back even further in that, where kids were talking about NCAA football,
Right.
the PlayStation game, or the console game. Those are things that now there's no longer NCAA. So I hope that's something that possibly could come back around. Guys making video games and getting a percentage of the game sold, because to me NCAA was still the better football game to play. I've always been a Madden fan, but it was nothing like playing college football and creating your cousin that you play football with. It's just different than Madden. Not to disrespect Madden, but it was just something about the college game that just made it so much better, and just a different. Coming from high school, they had it where you would start off in high school and build your league, and then go to college and play whatever you're given school. But I just think it's so many doors that I think they can create. It can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. But I think the thing that the NCAA is going to have to do to get the biggest benefit is be for the kids.
Right.
This is a union that was created to kind of housing sports, but to me, they've never really been for the student athlete. And I think now that you see the G League, and I think also the NFL is going to kind of try to follow those footsteps, because usually whatever happens in the NBA, or whatever happens in the football is usually kind of the last one to kind of pick it up from a legal standpoint and an action standpoint. But I think when you look at that, they're going to have to come around with some things.
I mean, you just ended it up, and we're going to end it up on that note, as we've got some administrative things we want to take care of. But we'll be back with more Hall Guys on tomorrow's show. Want to give a thank you to our guest, Victor Jones Jr. from Orlando, Florida, Olympia High School, the big 4-star 2022 prospect that Arkansas really covets to come play on that offensive side of football here in Fayetteville. Want to give a thank you to him. Lastly, want to give a thank you to all of our sponsors, Lindsay and Associates, with an office location in Fayetteville, an office location also too in Rogers. Locomotion, it's located just below Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Corey Beck's Custom Painting, and the one that I'm always happy about, KDK's Chicken. It's down at 989 South Razorback Road. Go see Keith, Kathy, get some of that love. And like they say, it's not your mama's. I added the last part. The best chicken and waffles in the South. From my producer Demetrius and myself, thanks to all you viewers. Continue to support us, as we really appreciate it. And we'll be back tomorrow. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins on KDSJ 479. You guys have a blessed one, and let's get it.